By the way, you aren't normal. Statistics mean absolutely nothing, so don't worry about them. See you next week. Thanks for watching. I'm just teasing. So today we'll cover a video from a series called Let's Talk About It from a YouTube channel based in Sweden, where the host covers different topics involving politics, society, and culture. And I thought of actually adding some extra information or details about certain things that their host, Eva, went over. And we'll start with the word norm. What is considered normal for some people today is considered discriminatory because it is unequal, meaning we leave whatever small percentage as if they are not considered. So in the end, describing something as a norm is generalizing whatever community, group, or subjects being talked about. This creates a huge issue for the groups with names ending with ism, because it means that we are discarding the minority, which, by the way, in common social sciences research is absolutely claptrap. I think the best way to answer this hypocrisy is when Jordan Peterson said this.
Maybe that's how women want their relationships, those women. I mean, you're making these vast generalizations.
I'm a clinical psychologist.
So then I'm not going to repeat what Eva said on why norms are actually needed in societies. But let's take actually a different angle. Let's take the belief that men are inherently violent. If you, me, or actually someone else says, well, not all men are violent, the backlash is pretty much immediate, because we will be told that we're not getting the point. We know it's not all the men, but you have to put it as if it's all men, as if we don't get the point. However, if we flip the switch, well, then suddenly generalizing such a statement for women, for example, well, is not acceptable. The issue is generalizing minor groups or minor details when we talk about a norm. I'm not saying their issue should not be talked about or covered in any way. In fact, in social sciences, we actually do that, especially when it concerns the health and basic rights. But normalizing and generalizing an issue and make it seem as if it's a global one is actually extremely dangerous. Because as soon as facts come into play, then suddenly it will not serve the narrative. It is in fact discarded. Today isn't about facts. It is about what feels right. What a very small portion of individuals feel it is right to do. But all in all, the norms aren't the issue. In fact, even those considered minorities, used in whatever narrative, aren't the issue either. The issue is the lack of responsibility for those in power. Sharing absolutely crap of information, possibly brainwashing children with the most obscene kid books, altering history, and finally, dividing us to have better control. Eva asks in the title what conservatives always lose. Maybe it is possibly due to the judgment some of them have towards certain aspects like art, for example. You call that building, and excuse my language, shit, because you compare it to possibly, I think it was a church from the Dark Age. And that's totally alright. Art is so subjective. You can't totally be right or wrong about beauty. And you mostly use actually this example to show basically the progress that has been made, or rather hasn't been made. But the fact is, I already see people actually commenting that, well, this isn't a proof of progress because you're judging something based on aesthetics. As much as women's rights actually evolved and were given, at least in most countries in the world, the right to vote, I must back Eva here and clearly ask ourselves, what's the goal? One wants to put chips in our brains and use child laboring in mines to get resources for its precious batteries. Some others want to make men women, or women men, or neither, just to be as equal as possible. In fact, we are progressing towards an utopian world where everyone is equal on every single level. Progressing towards a faster and more efficient way to consume. Progressing towards taking over other planets because apparently ours isn't big enough. Progressing where I trumps we. Progressing towards a world with no borders and complete freedom. A world progressing where emotions trump thoughts. A world where everyone is fully and completely soft-minded. But hey, never sell the bearskin before killing it. Look, it's very easy to judge those going to absolute extremes to protect or defend whatever they feel is right, especially with what's going on today. It seems like we're going through a never-ending tunnel where the light got swallowed away. I will finish with a quote from Martin Luther King's book, Strength to Love, that it seems many people decided to ignore. There's little hope for us until we become tough-minded enough to break loose from the shackles of prejudice, half-truths, and downright ignorance. The shape of the world today does not permit us of the luxury of soft-mindedness. A nation or a civilization that continues to produce soft-minded men purchases its own spiritual death on the installment plan. Thanks for watching. If you have anything to add, feel free to comment, obviously, and I'll catch you next time for the next video. Bye bye.